I'm rebranding the channel, so it's like almost like a resurrection style thing. I don't know. That's kind of corny to say, but
It
um,
works.
yeah. So starting off, I'm gonna give away a mask, and so we're gonna start with this mask right here. And I don't think this is gonna be the last giveaway, Mike. I think I'm gonna do like I'll probably
Multiple.
do I got this mask on camera, so the one that I'm showing right now, Mike, is the Frankenstein scream mask that you have.
Oh, I love that thing.
Yeah, which
Like,
is a concept that I came up with, but then your input was great too. So
thank you, thank you.
we both kind of tag team that, and is what it is. So we're gonna give
I
that
love
fucking thing away too.
I love mine. And it looks even better in person than it did in the pictures. Like,
Yeah,
I just think it's the cutest thing. I was like in love with it.
a lot of masks have a habit of doing that, but so
Yeah.
I'll pull up this mask right here for everyone to see. I'm thinking that. So this is a Halloween 5 mask. It's called the Donny Boy 2. I wonder how close it'll let it get. I don't know. I can't see from the camera thing here, but um, I was thinking like if you subscribe, you'll get an entry into the raffle, and if you comment, you'll get an entry into the raffle. Obviously, no buy-in. Like it doesn't cost any money. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So either comment or subscribe, and you'll be entered to win one of these. I'm thinking let it go to at least 20 people, right? You know what I mean?
Oh yeah. Yeah, you want to get a good enough number so it's.
But this will
Uh,
be shipped to your door free of cost if you win. I won't even charge people for shipping. It doesn't matter to me. So
wow.
yeah, I mean, I figure a lot of people's channels are popping, and I want to offer something that a lot of channels don't, which is like free masks, not just like free, maybe like a sticker or something like that. But I want to offer like something good for free. You know what I mean?
Oh yeah.
Not to compete, but just to be like, hey, we're for real on this channel. Like
Yeah.
you could
I like
you
that.
could get this if you help me, I'll help you big time.
Absolutely.
Um, yeah, and like I said, we got the fucking this Frankenstein deal here. Yeah, I added the bolts instead of the stitching, which I think was a pretty good idea.
Oh, you have to send me a picture of that one. I well, I think I saw it, but send it to me again.
No, you have the one with the bolts.
Oh, I do.
Yeah, in the
Okay.
forehead. We didn't do the. I overall didn't go for the stitching at all. So
Oh, yes. Let's see. Now I feel stupid. I knew mine was different.
no, that's all good. So yeah, I mean, everybody, welcome back to the channel, dude. It's been so long, and I've wanted to do this so bad, dude. Like, I'm supposed to go into like paramedic school, and all I can like that should be exciting for me, but like all I can think about is doing videos and stuff.
Hey, well, uh, if you're actually seriously thinking about doing that, then we're gonna talk about that later. Because I'm very proud of you. I
Yeah, no,
think
I
that's a
appreciate it.
thing.
Appreciate it. Well, I figured today we would just show everybody this Halloween 5 mask, but also I wanted to talk to Mike about a movie that was not made, which was Halloween Returns. And I read the whole script. I don't think Mike read the script.
I didn't read the whole thing. I know a good chunk of it because of like a few years ago when that was like the big thing.
Yeah,
And everyone was like, they're making this. This is the story. This is what's going on. And everybody was talking about it.
right,
I know a good bit of it, but I haven't read like the treatment that they did.
right. So, I mean, I guess should I just fucking dive right into the script then?
Yeah, yeah,
I'll
absolutely.
try to dig up what I can remember, which is most I can probably remember the whole movie, but So so the movie starts out in 1978, and it's
Hmm.
like a close up on a house or whatever, and then you see that this girl's running away from somebody. Obviously, it's Michael Myers, and it's this girl named Karen or whatever, and Michael is
Uh,
like kind of hot on her trail, and but it's like a point of view from like him. You know what I'm saying?
yeah.
So he follows her, whatever, and then it's sick because it has like things coming at the camera. So it's like the dog. There's a dog on a leash that like jumps up and goes to bite Michael, but he's on a leash, so it gets like tugged back. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So there's that, and
Kind of
then
like for Halloween 2, where it's all from his point of view.
yeah, I mean precisely. That's pretty much what it was like reading like.
Yeah.
Um, and then he like goes into another like a random house, and I'm not sure he doesn't get hurt. No, he doesn't, because then she's in the film later on. But then he goes into like Sheriff Hunt's house. You know Sheriff Hunt,
Yeah.
and there's like a baby in there. He opens the door. There's a baby, and then like he closes the door and like keeps going, and then ends up killing Sheriff Hunt's wife in front of the son, who's not the baby that I was telling you about, but he's like the a little bit older. You know what I mean? At that time.
Uh-huh.
So, and then Sheriff Hunt comes in like, "What the fuck you doing in my house?" Like, dude, fuck
So,
out of my house, son. But
is this supposed to be in between, like, Halloween and Halloween 2?
so it retcons everything like 2018 did, but this is before
Oh,
2018, and this is what we were supposed to get. So, um,
oh,
it
so
it opens up on
it,
1978. So
it,
everything I'm explaining to you is the end of is the first Halloween.
yeah, so this is, like, right after he disappears. So that means Halloween 2 doesn't happen.
No,
Okay,
right.
alright, I'm on
Um,
board.
yeah. So, anyways, long story short, with that, I mean, people have to read the script. There's plenty in between it, but the gist is the cops show up, and this guy Paul Rogers, who's mentioned in Halloween 2, the original
Ye-
Halloween 2,
yes.
shows up, and he's Michael's doctor, I guess, also or something at this point.
Well, Dr. Rogers ran the the Smiths Grove Sanitarium.
Yeah, but in
In
this,
the original
it sounds
Halloween.
in this treatment though, it sounds like he's treating him.
Oh, he might be. He might be the one that's above Dr. Loomis.
Yeah,
So yeah, it could be like he's overseeing his treatment too.
exactly. Yeah, so he shows up, and he says, Michael, it's over. Let it go, whatever. And then it shows Michael pan down to his knife. So he looks at his knife, and then he looks back up again, and he's in the street at this point, and there's like all cops got their guns on him and stuff, and then the camera pans out, and it's like behind Michael, and Michael takes his mask off, and then from there he gets like arrested, I guess, and that's like the opening.
Oh,
So
okay. See, I like that a lot of people apparently have this idea to say, let's let's just wipe the slate clean from Halloween and go there, you know?
yeah,
Because Halloween 2018 got a lot of flack for retconning Halloween 2 out of the canon, but I thought it worked.
yeah,
I
oh
was
yeah,
like,
definitely,
so I like that this script, which was written years before Halloween 2018,
right,
also had the idea of let's just say 1978 happened, and that's it.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I mean, and then so the whole opening credits is like an iris of an eye, and then the eye like gets bigger, and then you see that it's like a Michael Myers mask, and there's like a bunch of pumpkins lined up. It's hard to explain. You'll have to read the script for that one because I'm part dumb, my friend, so I have no idea what the fuck they were trying to say there, but um so then the movie is pretty much after that, you know, the I don't know if you would say middle act, but the whole how Michael Myers makes his way to, which isn't Haddonfield, we'll get to that, but so now he's on death row. And
Mm.
you know, he's going to get fucking, you know, killed, whatever. The state's going to kill his ass. And then so Sophia is Paul Rogers' daughter, and then Noah is Deputy Hunt's son, who's and Deputy Hunt is now the sheriff. And
Okay.
so Noah is tight with Sophia, and they're both like sort of main characters, pretty much.
Yeah.
And so Noah wants to see like Michael Myers die, so he has Sophia, like, she's the daughter of Paul Rogers, so she makes her way like to the prison, and there's this cool scene where like she wanders into like the where the inmates are, and Michael Myers is at the end of the hall, so she's looking straight down the hall, and then all it shows is Michael Myers' hands coming forth onto like the bars and like gripping them tight, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
But it says they never show like Michael's face or anything like that.
That's probably smart.
Yeah, so I'm skipping a lot of
You
stuff
want
too, though. So people,
you want
you're gonna have to read the script if you want the full deet.
Yeah.
But because it's just so much shit, obviously that it's tough to remember. So, anyways, the night of so she basically gets her dad's key card, so she can, you know, because Noah's begging her, like, oh, your dad works there, like, get me in there, I want to see him die, whatever. So they both get in there.
Yeah.
And then the night of his execution, he's on the table, and they're like injecting all this stuff into him, and then he's supposed to die. Like, the drugs they give him are supposed to make him medicated, which is like makes him go slow and, you know,
Yeah.
slow his heart rate down, and then the second process is like spikes everything, and then the third process is like, you know, he dies or whatever. But
Yeah.
so they're in the audience, and Noah and Sophia are in the audience because they snuck in.
Yeah.
And then all of a sudden, it's Michael's point of view again. He looks up and he sees Sophia in the audience, and he realizes that's like Paul Rogers' daughter or whatever, so he fixates on a new girl, you know what I mean?
Yeah, and I like that too, because that's one of the things that is a realistic like a real life serial killer trait, is that they fixate on people. So maybe this Sophia,
Yeah.
maybe she's got blonde hair like Judith or Lori, you know? So it's
Right.
sort of the idea that he's fixating on an image of somebody, like an avatar of somebody.
Yeah, and that's definitely what's happening here. And then so obviously when he sees her, they start putting the stuff in his veins, start turning like different colors and shit, like it shows it.
Yeah.
And so they know shit's going wrong and he's not dying, so they close the curtain. And then Dr. Rogers goes up to the window to like try and see what the fuck's going on, and a body gets like tossed at the window. And then he twirls the other one's head like around like 180 degrees. And then so after that, it's like Rogers going through I think it's a jail. He's going through the jail, like trying to find Michael Myers. Like all the lights went out because of the power, because of the storm that was going on and shit.
Mm-hmm.
And then it's like smoky in the hallway and shit. And he stumbles upon the boiler room. And Michael kills somebody in the boiler room. And then, but he sees that Karen girl at the end of the hall, and he's like about to rush to help her. And then Michael takes her by like the left hand, like choke slam style, and picks her up. And it's kind of weird because Michael just has a knife at this point, but he picks her up like choke slam style, and then like when he's bringing her down, he puts her on his own knife, like with his right hand, if you know what I mean.
Yeah.
So like he choke slams her up and then slams her onto the knife.
My God.
Yeah, so it's pretty crazy. But then so after that, there's like Hunt makes his way to find Paul Rogers, and they're together, and they obviously don't like each other and shit. And then there's like a big explosion, and Paul Rogers sees a guy that's like on fire walking towards him, but then falls. So I think that's the movie trying to be like, convince you that might be Michael Myers, you know?
Yeah.
So then they all make their way outside, and Rogers realizes that the gate is open, and he said, "Hey, is this gate like been open? Like what the fuck? I hope you guys have been screening." And they're like, "Oh, we've been screening all the patients that come out. Like Michael didn't. Nobody got out that we didn't see, you know."
Yeah.
But obviously Michael got out, and so then the movie carries on. That ends, and then there's like a few characters in this. Obviously, it's like 2 dudes and 3 girls, I believe.
Yeah.
So you have a dude named Bear, who's like a big dude with like a beard.
Mm-hmm.
And then you have his buddy Fogg. And then you have Noah. So I guess it's 3 of them.
Okay.
And I think like after that, they're trying to score beer, so they do it in like a weird ass way. But like across, so I'm just gonna get to the gist, so I don't take forever. But across the street from them getting beer is the Halloween store, and it says in the script that on the TV is the Halloween 3 theme playing.
Yes.
Like happy Halloween bullshit, whatever.
Yeah, the Silver Shamrock commercial.
Yeah, and the dude's name is Mr. Himbridge, which I think is from Halloween 3 also.
Yeah, Grimbridge.
Grimbridge, yeah, that's him, dude. And then he shuts that off, whatever, but there's like Halloween 3 masks in the store and stuff. And then he's like lured to the back, and then it says like a bloody hand grabs like the mask.
Of course, because he has to have it.
Right, and it's like the original mask. It's not like an old mask or anything. And then it says he goes down the aisle and sees like a mask that's like looking down, so he goes to fix it. But it's actually Michael Myers. And he jumps out of like it looks like he's in with a bunch of other masks, but he jumps out.
Oh, okay.
And ends up fucking killing that guy or whatever. And then so they end up scoring the beer and stuff like that. And they're going to this like Halloween barn. But
like Halloween 5?
I don't know. In the script it describes it as like a fucking it describes it as like a house. It's weird. But so after that, I mean, if I can, I'm still thinking here, but after that, I believe it just goes like into like, so Michael Myers takes what's his name? Grimbridge.
Grimbridge.
He has like a Halloween van that's like got a pumpkin on the side of it. It's all black with a pumpkin on the side of it.
Yeah.
And Michael steals the van. Oh, but before that scene is done, like when they steal the beer and shit,
Mm-hmm.
Sophia's walking by the Halloween store, and Grimbridge's like store is closed. So everyone's like, "Why the fuck is this store closed? Whatever, it's Halloween. Like, what the fuck?" And then she they like walk by the store or something, and she can see Michael Myers standing in the store, like staring at her. And then,
Oh, classic final girl.
and then she asks like her friends, like, "Is that a man or a decoration?" And then like when they look, obviously he's gone. And so they hop in Noah's truck, I think, and like try to take, and they take off. And then Michael's like, you can see the black van like pull up behind them. You know what I mean?
Mhm.
So they go to his house, and there's like a bunch of bullshit there. Like they do some, which I think is homage to Halloween 6. They do a thing where there's like an axe in a stump, and then a second later the axe is missing, and then Noah's little brother Liam, who is like, he's like 10 years old at this point because the movie takes place 10 years after 78.
Okay.
Well, maybe not 78 because they have like cell phones and shit. So whether it's present day or not, it takes place 10 years after Michael's initial rampage. And then,
Okay.
so the axe from the stump is missing. You think he kills the dog, but then the dog like shows up.
Thank God. Like I was like, he could kill the little brother. Who gives a shit? But don't
Yeah,
fucking.
yeah. So, and then it's like a love story, like not a love story, but Noah's trying to get like Sophia to come out to the Halloween barn that night. You know what I mean?
Mhm.
And she ends up like going to her house and getting in an argument with her mother, whose name is Emma, which is Paul Rogers' wife.
Uh huh.
So she gets in an argument with her and yada yada. So then it flashes to Paul Rogers with Deputy Hunt, and he's like telling Hunt like, you know, they didn't give him the right drugs, the drugs didn't kill him, and this and that, and they're kind of and Rogers is reluctant that Michael is definitely still alive, but Hunt is like,
Yeah, he's like, nah, I've heard the stories.
I think Hunt is like on like he kind of believes it, but isn't really sure what to believe at this point.
Yeah.
So they sort of travel back to fucking, and this takes place in Russellville, so this is all in Russellville, not Haddonfield.
Okay.
So they're just
So
discussing like,
it doesn't have as much of the history. Michael's more of an urban legend.
yeah, exactly.
Yeah, because oh yeah, the Midwest serial killer, you know.
Oh, exactly. Yeah. So they're sort of arguing about that, and then Paul Rogers apologizes to Hunt because his wife got killed, and he's like, I'm so sorry, whatever. Then it sort of flashes back to the kids, and
Mhm.
when Sophia's walking up to the house, it has Michael walking right behind her, and she feels like someone's watching her, so she turns around and he steps into the bushes.
Mhm.
It's just like a bunch of that, and then I'm like butchering it, so people have to like read the script. But so don't blame me in the comments if it's not as accurate as it should be, because just read the damn script if you can. But
I mean,
I'm just giving people the gist. You know what I mean?
yeah. Basically, it's a clean slate, stalk and slash,
Yeah,
slow burn.
obviously Michael is at where Sophie has meeting up with Noah, and Bear and Fogg are coming there as well. So it's like all the girls and Noah, Bear and Fogg, and this girl Bree and Ashley, they're all at this crib. Or it might just be the girls. I mean, I'm not sure. I'd have to read it again. But Michael rolls up in the van regardless. He's still in the Halloween van.
Uh huh.
And there's like instances in the movie where Michael will get out of the van and it'll follow him, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So when we're first introduced to them at the house, at Liam and Noah's house, I believe. I think it's Hunt's house. It shows Michael getting out of the van and like coming to the side and like looking in the windows and all that shit. And Liam's outside on the porch and he's butchering a pumpkin with the butcher knife, and then Michael eventually takes that butcher knife, I'm pretty sure.
Of course.
Yeah, so Uh, and then so I would say flash forward a little bit ways through, and now we're like at night, and fucking yeah, I think we'll just go into the Emma stuff. So Paul Rogers' wife is like there alone, and
Mm-hmm.
she gives, and then she like there's trick or treaters, and she gives them candy or whatever, and then sees Michael in the thing. So she's not alone. What's her name is still there. This is so confusing. You're gonna have to read the fucking script. But so
Yeah, the basic gist of it, though.
yeah, she has a fight with her mom or whatever, and then goes upstairs. And this is after they were at fucking like where Liam's doing the pumpkin and all that, and everybody's there. This is like a little bit after that. She's back at
Mm-hmm.
her house with her mom, Emma, who's Paul Rogers' wife, and they get in a fight, and she's like, "You don't have to lie to me. Like, it's cool. Like, whatever." And then she sees Michael with the trick or like as the trick or treaters come to her house, she gives them candy, and then she sees Michael, and then Sophia goes up to her room and like locks the door, and she's like, "Yeah, I want to be out of here. Like, let's party early or whatever." So they all get together and they go to the fucking Halloween barn. I'm pretty sure. And then
Mm-hmm.
so Emma, now you got Emma by herself in the house, and Paul Rogers and Hunter sort of on their way to Russellville to see what's going on, but I don't think they're
Yeah.
in like whatever. And then so there's this cool scene where Rogers like the police computer in his car lights up, like it turns on, kicks on, and then Paul Rogers is like, "Hey, why is my address and all my info on there?" And he goes, "Oh shit, this is like the last thing that somebody looked up, because it's an abandoned police car that they found on the side of the road, which I forgot to mention."
Oh, okay.
So they come across this like abandoned police car, and the last thing that's pulled up is Roger's address.
Uh-oh.
So he's like, "Fuck, we need to get there." So they start going. Michael is obviously in Emma's house, and she goes. Rogers calls her, to warn her, and then in the background you can see Michael like rolling up,
Oh, no.
like pulling up behind her. Yeah, dude, it's intense. And fucking, he says, "You got to get out of the house. He's coming." Like, that's what Rogers is saying to his wife.
Yeah.
And she looks up in a mirror, and she can see behind her that Michael's there.
Oh, no.
And so he says, "You need to get out of the house." She looks in the mirror, and she goes, "He's already here."
Oh, that's creepy. That's cool.
And fucking hangs up, and then obviously the fucking chaos ensues.
Yeah.
Michael tries to stab her. She knocks a knife out of his fucking hand. Keep in mind, you think that Sophia's still upstairs during all this, and a struggle ensues. Long story short, uh, trick or treaters answer the door or come to the door, and she goes to like go to the door, I guess, and Michael splits off,
Yeah.
and then comes back and smashes her with like a vodka bottle in the
Oh
head,
my God.
and she turns around and he starts like stabbing the bejesus out of her. And I think he stabs her like in the neck and shit too, but like so then whatever, he makes his way upstairs to go find Sophia, and he fucking kicks the door into her room and like raises the knife already ready to like start stabbing, and
Yeah.
she's nowhere to be found. And then yeah, so he leaves that house, and then Paul Rogers like finds his wife, you know what I mean, and she's all fucking done. And so that's emotional. And then they ask like the younger brother like where the fuck, or they go to Hunt's house, I think. I'm trying to
Where
remember how this plays out, but
where's the younger brother? Was he like
I think it
took
was I'm not sure. I think he was alone at at the Hunt's house because that's their dad. We could keep going from here. Yeah, so he tells them like they're going to like the barn, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So they go to the barn and dude, it's wild at the barn. Chaos ensues. Obviously the kids get like murdered and shit like that, but
Yeah.
I'll just flash forward to the end if you want to read the script by any means, go for it. But basically what happens in the end is like Paul Rogers shows up and like the whole house is on fire.
Oh my God.
The whole barn house or whatever is on fire. After Michael's like toured with them, like he kills Sophia's friend, I think it's Bree or Ashley, and then he like stuffs her with like straw so he makes her look like a scarecrow.
Oh, that's nasty.
Yeah, and then
That's really creepy.
and then there's a scene where Sophia's under a car and he starts stabbing all the tires to make the car go down and crush her.
Oh.
But she stops it and whatever. So the ending though, I'll get to the ending so we can make it a little shorter. But the ending is they're in the upstairs of this like barn house or whatever, and Rogers has an encounter with Michael, and then the sirens roll up, and he's like, you're not gonna get away. You're caught. You'll never kill again. And then Michael like proceeds. He tries to like rip his tongue out, and then stabs like a shard of glass through his hand. And then the cops roll up, and someone comes running out of that house like with the Michael Myers mask, and it looks like the person has a knife because they have the shard of glass through the hand, and they shoot the guy.
Oh, this was the ending to Night Dance.
Well, I don't know, but they take the mask off and it's not Michael, and then
Yeah, that's the ending to Night Dance.
it says on the wall in the house that's on fire, like this town will never be safe again. It's crazy.
Oh, wow.
And Sophia sees Michael like in the woods and shit.
Yeah.
But
So clearly opening it up for
yeah, yeah, I just thought that was like the craziest Halloween like of all time. I was like, damn, dude, like. But I mean, compared to 2018, it's not. I would have probably rathered this script just because it's like brand new, but it did have some flaws, you know.
Oh yeah, I think like 'cause it sounds very much like what they did years ago with Halloween Night Dance, the comic.
Yeah.
Russellville having new characters, the whole switcheroo with the mask and stuff, and only in Night Dance, Michael cuts off the guy's tongue and puts the mask on him, so
Really?
he can't. Yeah,
I didn't even know that.
because in Night Dance, Michael randomly kills this woman, and her fiance goes after him. So you have Michael stalking this new group of kids to get at this girl Lisa, who reminds him of Judith, and then you've got this guy who's stalking him, sort of like a Dr. Loomis dynamic, but
Right.
you know. And at the end, Michael and the guy are fighting, and he takes the guy's tongue and hacks it off and shoves a mask on him and like pushes him out. So when he stumbles out, the cops are like, "There he is, get him!" And they mow him down.
Interesting.
And yeah, and Michael kidnaps the girl Lisa and buries her alive in a
Wow.
car. filled with glass. Yeah,
That's
it's
very interesting.
it's a very downer of an ending, but it's very it's very powerful, and so that's what I liked about this script. The Returns, is
Yeah.
it? Where he's a little more nasty, I guess, like with the stuffing the girl like a scarecrow.
Yeah.
It's very scary, and um the whole thing like hiding in the costume shop, which was like very American Horror Story freak show. Uh there's a lot of good stuff in it, and I I think I I can see the merits of um writing a script that has like nothing to do with the original Halloween and like Laurie and Dr. Loomis, because they're like, let's start fresh, do
Right.
our own we have
Yeah.
we're tied to, but I can also see why um Blumhouse didn't want to go in that direction immediately, because historically, and I could be wrong, and I'm sure someone will say if I'm wrong, I think the Halloween movies with Laurie have proven the most financially lucrative. So I think Blumhouse realized that they were going to relaunch the Halloween series. They needed a hit.
Well, they had a backup script in case Jamie Lee Curtis said no. Apparently.
Yes, yes, I've heard that, but I think like they really wanted Jamie Lee because they were like, the stories with Laurie uh have been proven to be more financially successful.
Right.
So they realized, like, yeah, everyone always says like, oh, we kind of want to move away from Laurie Strode, but Laurie Strode is always the big box office draw. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I can see why they sort of
Well, yeah. If
went
you could
like,
get her back, why not? You know, but.
exactly, like where they're like, we kind of need Laurie Strode at least for this one, or whatever they're gonna do with it. But I personally, like, now that Laurie's alive, like my favorite thing about the retcon is that the retcon makes it so Laurie's alive again.
Right.
But now that she's alive and she's kind of done her thing, I don't think she needs to be in every other Halloween movie. It would be cool now if they kind of went past her story.
Yeah, like
And
now would be a good time for returns.
yeah, where it's something like Michael doesn't need to go after her, and she doesn't need to go after him, but I can see how that would be hard to do, since they've established that both
Yeah.
of them are very much obsessed with the other.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Well, I'm gonna end this video about returns, and then I'll probably make another video just on the stuff to do for the contest. But I
Oh,
hope
absolutely.
everybody likes and subscribes, and
Yes, please.
definitely
Because
hang on a second, because I'll be with you in a second here.
okay.
But yeah, and this new setup, dude, you got to see the setup. It's not that bad. But all right. I'm so fat.
Oh my god.